On the road. Um, all right, so some big news, some big financial news this week. The Federal Reserve, cut interest rates a quarter of a percent. Now, this is our third rate cut for the year. If you didn't know, um, I think we've done three quarter percent cuts this year. They kept saying one was going to come before the end of the year. And so here it is. We have our rate cut. Oh, you know what? Let me show you guys my screen. Here we go. Rate cuts. There we go. All right. So now you're looking at what I'm looking at. Um, Again, our third rate cut for the year. And what does this mean? So, credit cards might drop their percent, their APR a bit, but it's not going to be much. It'll be negligible, a quarter percent if they drop it that much. That's pretty negligible, right? Um, it'll work for cars, it'll work for houses, and all that kind of stuff. Um, oh, sorry, I'm shooting a message to my brothers about Discord, but I'm running a little behind schedule, and I apologize for that. So that's why we're jumping right into it. So we're talking about the Feds dropping rates a quarter percent and what it might mean. So honestly, it's not going to bring interest rates down a whole lot. So if you're looking at buying a new car, yeah, a quarter percent ain't gonna do you much. But it says, let's read this. So the Fed lowered its federal targets by a quarter of a percent, setting in a new range between 3.5 and 3.75. But that doesn't mean that's where home uh, rates are. That is not where um, housing rate or mortgage rates are. Actually, let me see. What's the average mortgage rate? See, look at that. 6.29, 5.63. That is a whole lot. Let me tell you. Look, a VA loan is getting 5.49. God is good because when I bought my first house in 2013, I paid 3375 for that interest rate, or that was the interest rate. And then Blacksmith Studios also have a 3375 on this one, and I bought this one in 22. So from 13 to 22, I guess it was just yeah, premium. You were exact. Look, chat undefeated, boy. I tell you, y'all don't understand until you do. The chat is undefeated. All right, look. Let me show you what I'm doing in order to get some topics. Right? I keep telling y'all about AI, and I'm going to keep telling you about AI. But let you see me using AI because I want you to be using AI. AI is taking jobs. Let me timestamp this actually because I want you guys, if you're watching this on YouTube later on. Oh, I put the colon in the wrong spot. All right. I want you to understand or be able to flip through it, right? So it's not just a huge chunk of time. So AI, let's talk AI. AI is taking over some jobs, right? I don't want to be doom and gloom, but AI will take some jobs, like hands down, and it already has, right? We don't think about it like that because it happened so long ago and it was so subtle that we didn't understand. But I'm going to give you a couple examples, right? Um, so I was a cashier 20 years ago, 18, yeah, 20 years ago. I started at the age of 18. So this was 2004, right after I graduated in August. I graduated in June, but in August, I got a job as a cashier at Pathmark. It's a Northeastern grocery store. And I'm looking at the date. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the years. So from '04 to '06, I was a cashier. So in that range. So in '06 is when we got like 4 self checkouts. We didn't have those. We had lanes 1 through 11 or 12. And shopped there plenty of times. That's right, Northeast family in the hizzy. In the hizzy. But yeah, we got self checkouts around '06, and they had to have a supervisor there all the time because it was kind of finicky. Didn't really work as well, but we knew they were going to figure it out. And guess what? Let me tell you why you didn't notice that the self checkouts are all in Walmarts, are all in Home Depots. You didn't really recognize the coming of that AI, right? Um, because they didn't like just up and fire people. What they did was they stopped hiring as many people. And so get what I'm saying. They didn't say, all right, we got 4 AI registers, 4 self-checkouts, 4 employees gone, you're fired. You didn't see it happen like that. How it happened, though, is businesses are always planning, right? Especially, and it doesn't matter if they're private or if they're public, right? But especially if they're public, because remember, public companies have to do earnings calls every quarter. Private ones don't. So you don't see any open AI calls, right? Earnings calls. You don't see SpaceX. You don't see Neuralink. You don't see Starlink. That's just some of the private companies I can think of. You don't even see Inboxable doing one. They're still on track for March. Let's check that today. I'll put that on the list of stuff to do. But the last time I checked, they're still on track to IPO in March. But let me stay on track here. They didn't cut people like that. What they did was the plan, like let's say, oh, this year we need to hire 12 new people. We need to have 3 per quarter, right? And I mean cashiers. You know what they do? All right, we'll hire 1 per quarter because we have self checkout. But you didn't see it happen, right? And so one of my brothers, he works at Amazon in San Diego, about an hour south of me, and I asked him about this. As a matter of fact, I'm using this AI, but let me minimize this and go back to here. It's already up. It's already up. So Amazon cut more than 1,800 engineers in record layoff, despite it saying it needs to innovate faster. Now, this came after what date is this article? November 21st. Now, this is after they had cut, I can't remember the number of executives. Let me see. 2025 Amazon layoffs. I should have used AI. Next time I need to look something up, I'm going to use it because I want y'all to see it. Amazon conducted, well, this is using AI because this is the AI overview that we're using, but we're just going to use, I have Gemini pulled up. Next time I might use Chat GPT, but y'all need to get comfortable. Y'all need to get proficient at utilizing AI and giving it the prompts that it needs to display the information. So I'm going to do it. I just forgot because my go-to is Google. So in 2025, they cut around 14,000 corporate roles. That's the number. I wanted to say the 1400 sounded right, but I thought they did more. They cut 14,000 executives. Now we're looking at, let me slide these right next to each other so it's easy to flip. Now we're looking at 1,800 engineers. And there was another one. Let me see if this says it. They had plans of hiring another 180,000 employees or something like that before 2027, and they're not gonna hire those people now because Two reasons. They're using AI, so they're automating processes. And the other reason is, and my brother told me, they have robots on the first floor of his building. They have robots down there working already. And guess what? I told him, you better go into robotics and learn how to program, conduct maintenance, and fine tune those suckers. Because look, let me show you something. If a robot can go like this, I ain't gonna drop my mic, but this thing got an OtterBox on it. So this flat screen TV, that's really a supercomputer that's capable of making phone calls. Yeah, it's got an OtterBox. So, but get what I'm saying? If a robot can do that, look, the person who's doing the same thing as a robot, the robot don't need a paycheck. The robot doesn't need benefits. You don't have to pay 15.3% payroll tax. There's no, you don't have to pay anything for unemployment. You don't have to pay anything for workers' comp. That robot fall down and twist an ankle. Guess what? You got an engineer that's going to shut him off. They gonna flip him over. He gonna untwist the ankle, tighten the screw, turn him, get back up, and he's putting boxes where it's supposed to go. It's that simple. You don't pay for a robot what you're paying for a human. That is unskilled labor. Look, folks, see the future before it gets here, because if you're in a job that is unskilled labor, and AI's probably going to come for it. It's probably going to take it, right? And the only way to get around this is to be the guy or the gal who is programming it, prompt engineer or something like that, right? Move into a trade. I doubt they're going to have robots anytime soon, disconnecting sinks, getting the gunk out of there, and HVAC technicianing it up. I doubt they're going to have robots building at construction sites anytime soon. Now, once we get there, I think it's just over. Jesus, take the wheel. Just come on back. You can't replace everything that humans can possibly do with robots and AI. That's not healthy for an economy, right? Because then where are all the jobs going to be, right? But then again, when you say capitalistic society, we're not thinking about really people and what people need. We're thinking more about companies first. We're not people centric, we're company centric. So it's whatever companies need. That's why companies donate to political campaigns. That's why companies donate to the campaigns of judges and district attorneys. And when I say political campaigns, I mean your delegates in the House of Representatives. I mean your senators. I mean your presidents. All of that stuff. Companies do that. That's why you see the CEOs having White House dinners, and they have done that 2 or 3 times since last year. I showed y'all who was at the inauguration. Remember that picture with the CEOs? Let's see. I'm not going to use AI for this one because I want to. Yeah, let me use it. Whatever. We got to start using it. But this is a lot of stuff that we could talk about. Okay, let me show you what I did look up. So this is what I told it. We're going to get to that picture in a second. But I said, find me the top financial topics on the internet right now, right? So the first thing was the Fed. That's why we're talking about it, because I was like, oh, I remember that. Now, I will say this. I did have it in my notes in my phone, but I purposed to come on here and utilize AI so y'all can see me using it. So right here, I had taken some notes when I was listening to Earn Your Leisure's podcast. Actually, this is when they interviewed Vlad Tenev. Who's Vlad Tenev, chat? Who is Vladimir Tenev? Y'all, I know my chat's going to get it right. But they interviewed Vladimir Tenev and they mentioned it. And I was like, oh, that's right. The Fed did just cut rates. So that's why. And then look, It's talking about Fed rate cuts, AI-driven corporate debt and financial risk. CEO of Robinhood. There you go, Sanchez. This is what I'm talking about. Big corporate deals and market disruptions. You're the one that got the picture of what's his name? Sunday. I forgot his name, and I'm the one that posted the photo. Sunday, something like that. Sundar Pichai. Pichai. Sundar Pichai, I think it is. Yes, the CEO of Google. So that's 2 for 2 for you. I had 2 fingers up. I just went like this. You couldn't see it. But okay. So these are the things that it looked up. And look at number 5. Look at number 5. I bet you this one's close to home for a lot of people. Rising consumer and credit card debt. I bet you that's a lot. That is hitting home for a lot of people. IPO buzz around SpaceX and tech companies. Yes. For people who are in the finances, I know that's a big one, but I'm pretty sure 80% of the population can relate to this one right here, right? Corporate earnings and reaction and global fiscal policy. So you can look stuff up like this and just pick the hottest topics that you think, right? Now I ask it after that, what are the top 10 soft skills employers are looking for? Look at that. Communication, emotional intelligence, problem solving, adaptability. And it says, ask ChatGPT. Oh, I said I had up Gemini. This is ChatGPT. Oops. Don't sue me. I don't know. Gemini has the little diamond kind of shape thing. And it's, I don't know. I got it wrong. Whatever. But I definitely said Gemini. But you could tell I haven't used it much. But I have a brother. He's not on right now. But man, he is a whiz with this stuff. And really what he's done is left me behind. Okay. So, I know what I was going to do. Let's find that picture. CEOs. It should be in here at the, excuse me, at the Trump's inauguration. Images. Oh, yeah. There's that picture. I think this, hey, look, now we know who that guy is, don't we? We talked about this. There he goes. Google CEO. Look at Elon Musk. I think he's still the chairman of Tesla. Look at Jeff Bezos, Mr. Amazon himself. Mark Zuckerberg. I'm trying to find one where maybe we can find somebody else because there's more. Let me see. Do I notice anybody else? They said Jensen Huang didn't go, but I think Lisa did from Lisa Soon, I think is how you say her name. Well, that's enough right there. But this is what I mean. The country is capitalistic, so it's companies first, right? It's companies first. People always talk about socialism, and I'm not saying what side I'm on or none of this kind of stuff, because I think the best society will have aspects of all of that stuff married together, meshed and melded, because when you say socialism, they really think communism. Communism says no matter if you're a doctor or if you're flipping burgers for a living, everybody earns the same. No matter if you're a CEO of a company or if you're digging ditches, you drive the same car, right? And I don't think anybody's going to agree to that because the Bible says a man that doesn't work doesn't eat. So you can take that, and a man who works more is going to eat more. I mean, or a man whose job or career or contribution to society is probably going to be able to eat more. You just take that and just flip that from it. And I'm not remixing the Bible. Ain't no blasphemy over here, but I'm just saying. Okay, so we know they're going to be companies first, and this goes all the way back to the AI conversation of will it take your job and where does it end, right? Just look, seek to use AI, utilize it in your day to day, utilize it in helping you write your resumes, utilizing it utilize it for, like I just did. What are the top 10 soft skills that employers are looking for? Ask it, right? You know what AI really is when you're talking Chat GPT and Gemini and stuff like that? Um, it really is the new Google. It's just a better search engine. It's better at searching, it's better at putting all of the information together, and it can actually give you well thought out stuff. So it's kind of like putting an artificial brain into Google, is really what it is. Um, but anyway, Fed cut rates. All right. I think enough said there. We talked about the implications already. So let me see. If anybody wants to say anything about that or ask a question, y'all feel free to do so. Um, Let me timestamp this for the next thing. Sorry, I got to do this because I think it makes for better editing. And then if you want to watch the video on YouTube, you can just, oh, that I want to hear what they were talking about with that one. Here's another one that I did want to go over. So I don't know if y'all know that Netflix was trying to buy Paramount, and or they were trying to buy Warner Bros. And I don't know if it got blocked by Congress, but I think the story I heard was that it got blocked by Congress because they were trying to say Netflix would have a monopoly. And as I knew monopoly, it was that you were the sole person in an industry, and you made it to where no other competitor can spring up. That is having a monopoly. So like you're in a small village way back there, no towns and houses like this. You're in a small village, and there's a there's a water hole, right? A big pool of water, and it's coming down the waterfall. And guess what? Your tribe is the only one with access to it, and you're blocking everybody else from it. You have a monopoly on this watering hole. That's how I always understood monopoly. But let's find out what monopoly is. This is the new dictionary, folks. Anybody from that dictionary, encyclopedia, almanac era? This is it. It's all in this. What is a monopoly? Let's get it. Let's see how fast it computes it. A monopoly is a market situation where one company or entity has exclusive control over an entire industry or product with no close substitutes and high barriers to entry that prevent competitors from entering the market. So it's exactly what I thought it was. Now, here's the thing about that. If y'all hadn't been paying attention to stuff like this, I think it was last year, Meta tried to buy TikTok. Remember, the president was saying TikTok had to have in America, it had to be American owned or something like that before the end of the year or something, or maybe it was very early this year, or it was going to be banned in all of America, and all these influencers and everybody lost their mind. But I'm going to tell you something. Well, okay, something really, as an aside, let me say something about that really quickly. I can speak proper grammar. Or use proper grammar to speak proper English. Lord have mercy. But listen, when I went to Salalah, Oman, right? They had like Facebook blocked. Not YouTube though, but I think Facebook was blocked. And when you go, it was somewhere else in the Middle East. I don't even think you could use YouTube. So some countries have IPs to certain websites blocked because for whatever reason or another, if you control the media, you really control your people, right? So if you always present the media from a right-leaning standpoint or a left-leaning standpoint, and you get people listening to it, you're really controlling them by controlling the flow of information. And some of those countries think social media is just brain rot. And I kind of tend to agree with them, although there's a lot of good stuff on social media. You'll see it is not searched as much as the Diddy trial. It's not searched as much as Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. It's not searched as much as Jada Pinkett's Red Table Talk and her situationship conversation. I just mean like all the brain rot stuff is the stuff that people love being entertained. Now, back to Monopoly. Um, this is exactly what I thought it was, but it's been up here long enough. Hopefully y'all have taken a look at everything that it's talking about. But Congress did block Meta from buying TikTok because they said they would have a monopoly, which is not exactly true, right? They would have been the predominant leader in the social media space, but they already are because IG wasn't originally theirs. They went and bought IG. Snapchat wouldn't sell to them. So what Mark Zuckerberg did was try. I just heard a story about this last week. See, this is the stuff I'm on YouTube for. Typically, Mark Zuckerberg they wouldn't sell to Mark Zuckerberg. So he said, I'll copy it and I'll put you out of business. And that's how businesses do, if you guys didn't know. So if they offer you 10 million for a product, yeah, it's probably worth 50 million, 30 million. You could take the 10 and go build another product, invest, live a great life, or you could say, stick your chest out to them and be like, nada. And I think they said Snapchat has crossed over 1 billion users or something like that now. And the valuation of the business is much higher than what he was offered for it. However, that's a success story. That's not usually how it goes. They will usually duplicate what you have or get another business that's kind of like your model and build that one up and put you out of business. But he succeeded. So there you go. But so they've got IG, they bought WhatsApp. What else? What else is a part of Meta? What companies have Meta or has? Is it has? Meta acquired since its inception. I know some more of these, but I can't think. I know IG, I know WhatsApp. I don't think most people even knew. Okay, IG, WhatsApp, Oculus, VR, now Meta, Beluga, not, I don't know what that is. Messaging service acquired in 2011. Actually, I think, tech used to build Facebook Messenger. Look at that. I think they went public in 12, though. No, YouTube is Google. YouTube is Google. Google acquired them. That's why it's the second largest search engine in the world. Onavo, I don't know, Israeli mobile analytics company acquired in 13, later shut down. Okay, they went public in 12. I'm pretty sure Facebook did. And I remember seeing the stock at like $12 and something, and I didn't think it was going to go anywhere. I didn't think social media was like going to be something that caught on. That was me using my 26-year-old brain. I know better now. Atlas Solutions, ad platform acquired from Microsoft in 2013, later shut down. See, it doesn't always work, but look, Meta is highly successful now. Parse, mobile back-end platform, 2013, later shut down. Beat Games. All right, so y'all get it. I was only really talking about what we saw in the beginning, which was IG and WhatsApp. So those were the two that I did know. So if they bought TikTok, fan base still hasn't gone public. Fan base is Sir Isaac Hayes III. He loves saying it's black owned. But it's a Facebook kind of I'm sorry, a YouTube kind of platform. Is the best way I could put it. Rumble is out there as well. But really, if they had have gotten TikTok, they would have cornered the market. So I think they made a good call on that, blocking that monopoly. Now them blocking who are we talking about? Nah, I forgot. Man, I'm getting old. I think my brain is just in different places. Oh, them blocking Netflix from acquiring Warner Brothers. I don't know. I don't know if this was a good use of monopoly blocking. And this is all money conversations, folks, because remember, if you didn't know, Netflix just split. They did a 10 for 1 split. Netflix stock, I think, is like at $90 right now. Let me check. I would bring it up, but I'm using a different browser and I would have to log in. I don't want to put my business out there like that. Let me see. Netflix just split. All right, come on, load. I paid the internet bill. Netflix. Yeah, Netflix is at 94 bucks. 94 bucks. And it was way higher than that. I don't know if they did a 10 for 1 split, maybe a 5 for 1, something like that. Oh, but you know what we can find out? Know how we can find out? Watch this. Here we go. Let's see if they know. Let's just see. Call me crazy. AI? What about AI? Oh, is that what I was talking about? Um, that's how you're gonna find. Oh, yeah. Oh, y'all were guessing. I'm a real person. I'm not AI. Yes, I'm gonna utilize AI. Oh my god. Oh, you're dumb. I said call me crazy. He called me crazy. I tell you, some people's brothers. See, now I got thrown off. What was I about to say? What are the details of the recent FlixNet stock split? Notice how I'm asking the AI the question. Netflix stock split. You could say that, but maybe it gives you the first one it ever did, right? So you have to be smarter than a third grader when you're asking them, when you're asking it information. All right, so let's see. It did do a 10 for 1 stock split. I thought so. In late 2025, it's not getting the given the actual day. Closed it on October 30th. Okay. Well, let's see if it knows this. Why was Netflix FlixNet blocked from let's say acquiring who is it? Warner Brothers? Warner Brothers. Let's see. Look, we about to get smart on this AI stuff. So one of so our youngest brother, he works on Saturday and Sunday. So he's usually working, he's always working while we do these lives. But one of these days, I'm gonna either have to interview him on camera and pre-record the video, or actually if he can just come on here live and talk about it and teach it. But he's a whiz with AI. Let's see. Uh, and could be blocked, so it wasn't blocked. Antitrust and competition law risks. I'm telling you, it was the monopoly. Actually, you know who talked about it? I think I posted the Market Mondays video from Earn Your Leisure, and it was not Dan Cathy. Who is Dan Cathy? Do y'all know? Who's Dan Cathy? Don't be cheating. Don't be asking Gemini. This ain't the time to ask Gemini or Chat GPT. Who is Dan Cathy? It's not Dan Cathy, but I can't remember the guy's name. Um, he came on to Earn Your Leisure and he talked about it. Hold on, let me see. Because I think I can find his name. I should know this guy's name already. That's him, Caleb Silver. Caleb Silver. He has been on Earn Your Leisure, I think, 3 or 4 times now. They love this guy, and so do I. This dude is awesome. Like, for the knowledge that he gives out and stuff, he seems like a very down-to-earth guy. He was at the last Invest Fest in August in ATL, and this guy right here is pretty darn down to earth. I take a lot of notes when he's on, and they were talking about Netflix getting blocked because of a monopoly. And then he actually gave the definition of monopoly, but his definition that he used, I was like, ooh, I guess I'm wrong. I mean, he's richer than me. The guy, he's older than me, he's wiser than me. So I assumed I was wrong about my definition on monopoly because he talked about it like it wasn't a complete takeover of a sector. He talked about it like it was I don't know, a little different. And so I backed off of my definition. So, but I looked it up with y'all, and no, I was actually right. I've known that for a long time though. But this guy right here, Caleb Silver, Investopedia, utilize Investopedia. It's very good investment knowledge and stuff like that. I utilize it. I'm telling you. I thought it was Paramount they were trying to acquire. Hold on. Because, a lot of these studios might have bought the other ones or collaborated, but they let them keep their name and stuff like that. It's kind of like Kroger does, or Kroger does it. Who's another one? Y'all know what I mean. I don't know. My brain is gone today. This merger must be blocked. Yeah. Okay, so Paramount's offering $30 per share in cash for Warner Brothers Discovery, which equates to an enterprise value of 108.4 billion, ahead of Netflix offer, which was worth 83 billion. I do remember they offered 80 something, but I didn't know somebody else was going to pay more. But they would probably allow Paramount to buy it because Paramount is not going to corner the market if they do. But Netflix, I don't know if this is a smart block, and I'll tell you why. Y'all name some other streaming apps out there. See if you can name, give me 5. Give me 5 other streaming apps. Give me 5 other ones that would tell you that them blocking this is not a good one because they wouldn't corner the market if they, in my opinion, I don't think they would. Because I could give you some. Hulu is one. I don't know who owns it though. I don't know who owns Hulu. Prime, Amazon Prime. Exactly. That's the first one I was going to say. Was Amazon Prime. Who owns Hulu? Walt Disney. And Disney was the second one. Disney was the second one I was going to say. So with them, and maybe I just don't know. And look at this. The Walt Disney Company fully owns Hulu as of June 2025 after completing its acquisition of Comcast's remaining 33% stake for approximately $9 billion, giving them 100% control and operational authority over the streaming service. I think they're saying Comcast owned part of, 33% of Hulu. I thought they were saying they own Comcast too. I was like, oh my God. But yeah, look at that. Hulu's owned by Disney. Who knew that? Who knew that Hulu was owned by Disney? I didn't know that. So that's why I'm saying I don't think that's a good block because Disney has been around forever and they're very competitive. Amazon is coming for everybody. However, I will say Netflix is a very, very well run company, and Netflix If y'all didn't see earlier in the year, oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that. Go back. Now go back. I meant to do that. Netflix had the Jake Paul or Logan Paul, whichever one of those boxing dudes, whichever one of those YouTubers, the pranksters turned boxer, fought Mike Tyson, right? They had that fight. So they're getting boxing fights. They're trying to get sports. If you watch Netflix and chill, no, I'm just kidding. If you watch Netflix's trajectory, is what I was going to say. They're actually suiting up and booting up to take over, which may be why they're trying to block them. But it's such a well-run company that why are you stopping them? But I don't think they would corner the market at all. I think that's kind of unfair to say, knowing that Disney's out there, Amazon Prime is out there, Amazon taking all of the popular sport. That's right. So, and that's what I'm saying. So, okay, so Amazon, you can go on there and with another type of subscription, NFL, game day, whatever it's called, you can get all the games you want on Amazon. He's exactly right. They have boxing, all that stuff. Somebody's trying to get Formula One. They're trying to corner the market in sports, but like specific events, sporting events, Netflix is trying to get whomever gets the Super Bowl wins out in America, because that's like the biggest one. Whoever gets that, NBA Finals, MLB, and especially if somebody gets the biggest sport in the world, football, that is going to be the one, soccer. Because there's so many immigrants here that they watch soccer. I'm going to tell you, in my Chiefs mess, basically our cafeteria slash meeting room slash hangout spot, on the Tripoli, we had a lot of cats that were Jamaican or just from the Caribbean in general or African. I know one guy was from Morocco specifically. And just overseas, we have a lot of immigrants, and they watch a lot of Filipino cats, and they watch soccer. I mean, when soccer was on, it was on the TV. AFN is the network that we got out there, and man, I'm telling you, soccer was on there. I started learning rules about what a yellow card is, what a red card is. Yellow card, you got one warning. You get a second one, that's automatically a red card. You out for the rest of the game. And so whoever gets those are going to be at the top of the mountain. But I'm going to say I think the mountain has a few peaks on it, not just one, is what I'm getting at. One is Netflix, one is Disney, one is Amazon. I think it's a 3-peak mountain, right? And why does this matter? Because an investment in a Netflix, if they get it, if as soon as it's announced, that stock is probably going to shoot up, and it's probably going to continue to go up even faster and even more. So you need to know what's going on in the news. I've been making a lot of shorts lately. I don't know if y'all have seen them, but I'm going to tell you something. I made one about the Diddy documentary where he's sitting there like this or something like that. And I said, everybody, now that this documentary is out, or as soon as this case hit the news, everybody became a Diddyologist. They were all certified in Diddyology, and they all knew everything about what's going on with Diddy. But I'm going to tell you something. A lot of people are haters. And I'm not defending him, or I'm not even persecuting him, because I don't know. I wasn't there. But I will say this. A lot of people are haters, and whenever somebody is doing better than them, but they fall, they just love it because that person's richer than me. They look better than me. They're more confident than me. They drive better cars. They have nicer looking women or whatever. They got a bigger house. Yeah, we got them. We got them. Who's we? And what are you getting them on? And so everybody, oh my God, the YouTube videos I saw, the conversations I heard, and it's just like, listen, you're worried about him and what he likes to do sexually behind closed doors or open doors with freak offs, whatever the heck, right? We're not getting into that because I'm not a diddytologist, right? Or didyologist or baby lotion. I'm just playing. All right, I'm gonna stop. I meant to say baby oil, but I'm gonna stop. I know some of the things you could not come out of that whole thing and not know anything. You heard it, right? So, but while people are worried about that, we're worried about this. And watch, I bet you your stock portfolio, the ones in my Discord, your stock portfolio is heavier than 80% of the people worried about Diddy. I guarantee it, because that's what they're putting into their brain. If this cup is full of protein shake, and it is, and I'm going to enjoy it later off camera, it's going to be delicious. If it's already full with protein shake, how could I fit water into it? I can't. The water would just spill off the top, right? So if your cup is already full with useless babble and asinine information, you can't fit anything in there that's going to help you. You can't. So there's that. So now we're off the Diddyology topic. AI, folks, AI. Let's utilize AI to the max extent. You know what? Here's my challenge from my Discord group, right? And I'm gonna have to put this in one of the channels. Here's my challenge. If you're watching this live, and it's two of you right now, my brother had to go. I think he's at work, but he was tuning in anyway. I think I got two brothers at work right now. Here's my challenge. For 1 week, ask AI at least 3 questions a day for 1 week. So 7 days, I want you to ask AI at least 3 questions per day. So at the end of the week, that's 21 questions. But I don't want you to try to ask it 21 questions on Friday. I want you to ask it 3 questions a day. That means you have to remember, you gotta start utilizing AI. If you need help with your resume, ask it the top 10, the top 3 pointers or top 10 point. I put up 5 fingers. The top 10 pointers or things that employers are looking for on resumes. If you're trying to lift weight, ask it about muscle growth. What's the number one thing that's going to help muscle growth? If you're trying to work on strength, ask it the number one strategy or something behind building strength in the gym, right? If you're not getting enough sleep, let's say you wake up, you fall asleep, you wake up, you fall asleep off and on, ask it the number one thing that causes you to have broken sleep cycles. Just ask it. Just ask it. Figure out 3 questions a day and ask it. But all right, folks, that's going to do it for this week. We didn't get to that many different topics, but you know what? There's always next week. If you didn't see in the Forge, I think, and in investing, I posted, where is it? This right here. This should take you to a video about our year-end review use of Discord. But I will tell you this: if you didn't see it here, I actually put it in a short on what's up, Em? I actually put it in a short on YouTube, and we are really making some noise on this Discord server. I think it was for messages passed through Discord. I think we were in the top 26th percentile of everybody utilizing Discord. And then the amount of hours that we do our lives for, I think we were in the top 25%. So we're really making some noise on Discord, and I'm really actually hoping that it's going to get some brand deals or some what's it called? Affiliate marketing deals or something like that. Let me see. Yeah, 806 messages were passed this year. 19.33%. Top 19.33% in all of Discord. I'm watching the short right now. This is something I want to pass. Okay, yeah, 77 hours in voice, top 26 and a quarter percent of Discord voice chatters worldwide. Look at that. And the Blacksmith podcast has only been around since May of 2024. No, April 7th, 2024. Anyway, Sanchez, you were one of the MVPs. And then Ramza, my brother, was my sidekick with all the messages passing. But listen, the Forger's going cold. I'm very thankful for y'all continuing to rock out with me every Saturday. I'm gonna have a good show lined up next week because now we're utilizing AI for topics, and let's see what we can crank out. You know what I did do? Here's the last thing I'll tell you with AI. I went on here and I asked it, and I don't know if it's on this one. Let me see. Maybe. I was at the gym when I did this. Look, every morning, provide me with the top 10 subject/investment podcasts that they're discussing. And then I said, every morning at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, provide me with the top performing ETFs and index funds. And so it did that once. And then I appreciate you. I appreciate chat, undefeated, best group ever. What are the top 3 reasons you should invest in ETFs? So I already have a lot of stuff that I'm going to make some long form content on, or I'll break in the shorts. But look at where I'm going to get my material. It's very simple. I got to watch my year-end review for the YouTube, for YouTube as well. How many millionaires are made in America every day and how are they amassing their wealth? Look at that. They were saying, and I got this from Earn Your Leisure. Listen, every Monday when I go to the gym, I drive my 75 miles down to Coronado. I'm listening to, Tuesday morning. Every Tuesday morning when I drive down there to the gym, I'm listening to Earn Your Leisure, and it's still playing while I'm lifting weight. And that's where I was typically getting some of my subject matter from. And then I was doing my research. Now I just ask AI, right? It doesn't mean that they won't have a good conversation about stuff that we can't utilize. But that's the last piece. Forge is going cold. Thank y'all for joining me this Saturday. And I will see you next Saturday. Y'all have a terrific weekend. Have a great week. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. All that good stuff. And I love y'all. We'll see you later.